picture yourself as a living, breathing canvas. Each emotion that courses through you is a vibrant brushstroke, contributing to the masterpiece that is your existence. Now, imagine someone approaching your canvas with a bottle of turpentine, intent on erasing the deep crimsons of your anger or the inky blacks of your sorrow. Preposterous, isn't it? Yet this is precisely the emotional vandalism we inflict upon ourselves daily. Welcome to a paradigm shift in the realm of inner alchemy, where we transmute emotional lead into gold, not by erasing, but by embracing every hue in our spiritual spectrum. We've all experienced those moments when an emotion ambushes us like a rogue wave, leaving us floundering in unfamiliar waters. The zeitgeist whispers seductive lies, banish negativity, choose happiness, as if our feelings were unruly children to be sent to their rooms without supper. But what if these very emotions, the ones we frantically try to exile, are actually the keys to unlocking our deepest potential? Ponder this. When was the last time you allowed an emotion to simply exist without immediately reaching for your emotional hazmat suit? In our hyper-curated, Instagram-filtered world, we've become emotional contortionists, twisting ourselves into knots to avoid confronting what lies beneath. We treat our feelings like uninvited guests at a party, desperately trying to usher them out the back door before anyone notices. Here's the cosmic joke. The more we attempt to banish these emotional interlopers, the more they set up camp in our psyche. It's like trying to submerge a supernova. The harder you push, the more spectacularly it erupts. Our misguided efforts to micromanage our inner landscape often backfire, leaving us emotionally bankrupt and even more vulnerable to the very states we're trying to evade. So, what's the alternative to this Sisyphean struggle? Enter the art of emotional alchemy. Just as an alchemist doesn't fight against the nature of elements, but learns to transmute them, we can develop the ability to work with our emotions rather than against them. This isn't about passive acceptance or wallowing in emotional quicksand. It's about cultivating a new form of inner strength, the power to dance with our demons instead of fleeing from them. Let's dissect some of the emotional evasion tactics we've all employed in our personal arsenals. Here's a classic. How dare you make me feel this way? Where we project our inner turmoil onto others like emotional graffiti artists. It's akin to trying to change the weather by yelling at the sky. Futile, and often leaving collateral damage in its wake. Then there's the chameleon complex, where we shape-shift our personalities faster than a quick-change artist, all in a desperate bid to avoid feeling blamed, shamed, or cast out. We become emotional mercenaries, selling our authenticity to the highest bidder, only to find ourselves bankrupt of genuine connection. Or perhaps you've adopted the lone wolf strategy. Weary of disappointment's sting, you've built an emotional fortress, complete with moat and drawbridge. You've become the sole inhabitant of your internal kingdom, safe from hurt perhaps, but also cut off from the rich tapestry of human experience that gives life its depth and color. These coping mechanisms might offer a temporary ceasefire in our war against discomfort, but they exact a hefty toll. They keep us trapped in a hamster wheel of reactivity, perpetually at the mercy of our unexamined shadows. The true path to liberation lies not in fortifying our defenses, but in learning to lower the drawbridge and welcome all parts of ourselves home. Now, let's be clear. This isn't an invitation to fling open the floodgates and drown in a tsunami of repressed emotion. It's about forging a new alliance with our inner world, one of curiosity, compassion, and courage. It's about cultivating the art of emotional presence, much like a master sommelier develops their palate, with patience, practice, and a willingness to savor even the most challenging notes. Imagine you're sitting with a friend who's going through a tough time. You wouldn't tell them to just get over it or immediately try to fix their problem. Instead, you'd listen, offer support, and create a safe space for them to express themselves. This is the exact approach we need to cultivate towards our own inner experiences. When inner turbulence strikes, pause. Take a breath and let the story drop away. Bring your attention to your body, scanning from head to toe. Notice the sensations in your chest. Is it tight, expanding, or contracting? Feel your throat, open or constricted? Shift your focus to your stomach. Is it clenched, fluttering, or heavy? Be aware of your skin. Any tingling, coolness, or warmth? Tune into your muscles. Are they tense, relaxed, or trembling? Remember, there are no labels here. Banish words like sad, angry, or afraid. Your body doesn't speak in concepts, it communicates through raw data from its built-in sensors. Pay attention to pressure, temperature, and movement. Nothing more, nothing less. Stay present with these physical experiences. Watch as sensations ebb and flow, rise and fall, intensify and fade. This is the language of your body, free from the stories your mind tries to weave. As you practice this, you might notice something surprising. Emotions, when fully felt and acknowledged, tend to move through us rather than getting stuck. It's like opening a window in a stuffy room. Suddenly there's space for fresh air to circulate. This doesn't mean the process is always comfortable. In fact, it can be downright terrifying at first. We're venturing into territory we've spent years, maybe even decades, avoiding. It's normal to feel resistance, to want to retreat to familiar coping mechanisms. But with each small act of courage, each moment of staying present with discomfort, we're rewiring our nervous systems and expanding our capacity to hold space for the full range of human experience. As we develop this skill, we start to notice a shift. Emotions that once felt overwhelming become more manageable. We recover more quickly from setbacks and disappointments. We become less reactive in our relationships, able to respond thoughtfully rather than lashing out or shutting down. But perhaps the most profound change is in our relationship with ourselves. By learning to embrace all parts of our emotional landscape, the stormy seas and the calm waters alike, we cultivate a deep sense of self-acceptance and inner peace. We no longer need to wage war against ourselves or contort into shapes that please others at the expense of our own authenticity. This journey of emotional surfing isn't about reaching a destination where we never feel pain or discomfort again. That's an illusion that keeps us trapped in cycles of resistance and disappointment. Instead, it's about developing the flexibility and resilience to ride whatever waves life brings our way. Think of it like this. Every emotion, even the ones we label as negative, carries valuable information. Anger might be telling us about a boundary that's been crossed. Sadness might be highlighting something important we've lost or need to let go of. Fear might be pointing us towards areas where we need to grow or prepare. When we learn to listen to these messages instead of immediately trying to silence them, we gain access to an incredible source of wisdom and guidance. As we practice emotional surfing, we might find that our relationships deepen and become more authentic. When we're no longer afraid of our own feelings, we create space for others to express theirs without judgment. We become better listeners, better partners, better friends, not because we've eliminated all negativity from our lives, but because we've learned to navigate the full spectrum of human experience with grace and skill. This approach to emotional well-being isn't about achieving some state of perpetual bliss. It's about embracing the richness and complexity of life, with all its ups and downs. It's about recognizing that our capacity to feel deeply, both joy and sorrow, is what makes us fully human. So how do we begin this practice of emotional surfing? Start small. The next time you feel an emotion rising, resist the urge to immediately distract yourself or push it away. Take a deep breath and get curious. What does this feeling want you to know? Where do you feel it in your body? Can you stay with it for just a few seconds longer than you normally would? As you build this muscle of emotional presence, you might find yourself naturally gravitating towards practices that support this new way of being. Mindfulness meditation, journaling, body-based therapies, and expressive arts can all be powerful allies on this journey. The key is to find approaches that resonate with you and make them a regular part of your life. Remember, this is a lifelong practice. There will be days when you feel like a master surfer, gracefully riding the waves of your inner world, and there will be days when you feel like you're being tossed about in a stormy sea. Both experiences are part of the journey. The goal isn't perfection, but a gradual expansion of your capacity to be with whatever arises. Wrapping up, imagine your emotions as a cosmic jazz band, each feeling an instrument with its own unique sound. The mournful wail of a saxophone, the thunderous boom of drums, the delicate tinkling of piano keys. For years, you've been the overzealous sound engineer, frantically trying to mute certain instruments and amplify others, creating a sanitized, radio-friendly tune. But what if, just for a moment, you stepped away from the controls? Picture yourself in the audience, eyes closed, letting every note wash over you. The cacophony might be overwhelming at first, discordant, chaotic, but as you listen without judgment, something magical happens. The seemingly random notes begin to coalesce into a symphony of staggering complexity and beauty. This is your life's music, raw, unfiltered, authentically you. So here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, be the audience, not the sound engineer. Let your emotional jazz band play uninterrupted. No adjusting, no censoring, no wishing for a different tune. Just pure, unadulterated listening. What will you hear when you stop trying to conduct the orchestra of your inner world? What hidden melodies might emerge? What rhythms might you discover that have been there all along, pulsing beneath the surface? The comment section below isn't just a space for words, it's your virtual jazz club. Share a note from your day's emotional symphony. A riff of unexpected joy, a blues lick of sadness you finally allowed to play out. Together, let's create a collaborative soundtrack of the human experience in all its glorious, messy complexity. This video isn't the end of a lesson. It's an invitation to the grandest jam session of your life. The stage is set, the instruments are tuned. All that's left is for you to take your seat in the audience and let the music play. Are you ready? The concert of your life is about to begin. Thank you for watching. This is Ayla signing off.